Hey there, TRAD friends. Tom Morley here, coming at you from beautiful Chattanooga, Tennessee. It's the first day of September, and I'm happy to bring the month in with some tunes. What do you say? It's also Labor Day Monday, and some of us have the day off, and if you were itching to play some tunes, well, here I am, ready to share a nice batch, just a mixed bag of tunes here that I put together, and I think we'll have some fun. We'll play some Irish jigs and some reels, even some hornpipes before we're done, and a couple other goodies. So why don't you grab your instrument, your fiddle or your flute or your mandolin, your guitar or your accordion or your concertina, or maybe your harp, whatever instrument you like to play, and hear these wonderful, wonderful Irish trad tunes that I have loved for over a quarter of a century at this point. I just love playing them, and I love sharing them and sending them around. First, when I first did it, around my own community, to my own students, and then to the wider community. And now, thanks to the old interwebs, here I am sharing tunes with people from around the country and beyond. So I really appreciate you guys tuning in here on Labor Day Monday. Let's get going with a jig, a fun jig called Jimmy Ward's Jig. This is one that I've heard, I think, on a Lunasa album many years ago. Put it in my Irish Trad fiddle book, and it's a wonderful tune in the key of G. It does end on the wrong note. I do have to say that. It ends on the wrong note and the wrong chord, but it's a good tune to then add and put into a set, like at least two tunes or three jigs together. But today we're just going to play it by itself. Here we go, Jimmy Ward's Jig, 3 times around. 1, 2, here we go. We ended it in G. All I had to do is travel back and play the first note of the tune again, and then we put a nice little, tied it up in a nice, neat, musical sort of way, didn't we there? Jimmy Ward's Jig, a really fun tune to play. You can put that together in a set with Saddle the Pony, or gosh, I could imagine also doing the Blackthorn Stick with it, which we will do a little later. If I had had a little more thinking, I could have put those two together and we could have played them together now. But that's something for you to try at home. Okay? All right. Let's go from a jig to an Irish single reel. Single reel, of course, is a tune that's played, has an 8-measure phrase, but it is not repeated. That's called a double reel. And there's lots of both kinds of reels out there in the Irish trad world. Crowley's reel is the first tune I use in my Irish trad book to teach about Irish triplets for fiddle players in particular, but whatever instrument you're playing here, you'll see the second measure of every line has triplets on the second and fourth beat. And you'd go, or, so all the time you look at those triplets and you think of the word cinnamon 1 and cinnamon 3 and cinnamon, and you'll get the right feel for those notes. I like to play them for you fiddle players out there, up, down, up. Yeah, whatever instrument you're playing, you might have to kind of do a stuttery trick, and there's a different way to approach triplets for every instrument that's played. But us fiddle players, we have to do a quick wrist movement and get them quickly to kind of spit out the bow. Okay. The other reason I chose Crowley's reel today, I'm not sure exactly the history of this tune, but many tunes are named for either the person who's playing it or the person who was well known for playing it. It's not always written for the man who wrote it. In fact, it seldom is. It's usually written with somebody else in mind or named with somebody else in mind. And this could have just been a tune that a man whose name was Crowley enjoyed playing, and it kind of became the way you named it. But for Fran and I, here this last couple weeks, we've been watching reruns of all of the episodes of Downton Abbey and enjoying that. And so when I look at Crowley's reel, I'm thinking of Matthew Crowley, or the Crowley family, and the big gigantic soap opera that is Upstairs and Downstairs at Downton Abbey. So that's the other reason I picked it, with Downton Abbey in mind, which there's going to be a new movie coming out in just a week, which we are pretty excited about seeing. All right, it's great to see all our trad players out there, and I enjoy seeing your comments, and I will definitely be checking them out again after we're done with our session here. So once again, comment away and let me know how you're doing out there, wherever you're from. And of course, Fran will be keeping track of that, and she'll let us know before the end of the session where everybody tuned in from here today on Labor Day Monday, September 1st. Here we go, Crowley's reel. Once again, we play this 16 measures straight through without stopping. And so we will do this tune maybe 3, maybe 4 times, and then we'll add a special ending to get it finished up. Otherwise, it just keeps swinging back into itself. Here we go, key of D, Crowley's reel, full of great Irish triplets. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Top. time. Crowley's Reel is the name of that tune. Yes, once again, a single reel is only half as long, takes only half as long to play as a double reel. Usually a real giveaway is if you play four measures, the first four measures, and the melody then instantly repeats. Those four measures are used again. And then there's a B section and it has a new melody, and then that one repeats. Usually a double reel, the one that you would repeat each 8-measure section, has a more a longer melody that takes more than 4 measures to play through the whole phrase. You'll hear it'll be a what's the word I'm looking for here? I don't want to say complicated, but a more continuing melody that you can't just tie up in 4 measures, if that makes sense. But particularly if you're looking at tunes on a page, a printed page, and the first line looks exactly like the second line, and the third line looks exactly like the fourth line, or real close, it's probably a single reel, and you won't play that melody as many times, right? That's the trick. All right, we haven't played a good slip jig for a while, and here's a tune I learned during the pandemic as I was sitting at home and flipping through my many books of fiddle tunes, just looking for new ones that I wasn't that familiar with. And Dublin Streets is a good tune in E minor, and has that great slip jig form. You'll play the first line and repeat it, and then you'll play the other 8 measures straight through. But of course, with the slip jig, we count to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, Betsy, complex. That's the word. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. A more interesting, complex melody often takes more than 4 measures to do so. Slip jigs are usually made up of 4-measure chunks, so their complexity stays within a 4-measure phrase. So there you go. Once again, let's think about the counting on slip jigs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's how we do Dublin Streets. A lot of slip jigs have a tendency to come up with a counting and then use it over and over again. The first section of Dublin Streets is always long, short, 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 long, short, 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 short. So then the B section is long, short, 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 long, short, 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 short. So it's interesting to see how slip jigs get put together over the history of tunes, right? Here we go, 3 times around on this slip jig in 9/8 time called Dublin Streets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9/8 time there with Dublin Streets. That's the name of that tune. There's all kinds of wonderful slip jigs out there, like the butterfly, of course. Comb your hair and curl it. Many tunes that are so much fun to play in the 9 beats in a measure time signature, which we make it, then it's called a slip jig or sometimes a hop jig. It goes by both of those names. All right, we played ourselves 3 different kinds of tunes. In fact, I've kind of mixed up all kinds of tunes in this set for us today. We got a jig, and we had a single reel, and a slip jig in 9/8. And now let's do a fun hornpipe. And this is the Home Ruler is the name of this tune. I have great memories of playing this one back in Fairhope at our pub sessions there. The interesting thing about this tune is many hornpipes are very repetitive, and once you've learned the first 4 measures, you do them again, and then you often revisit them in the second half of the tune as well. But the Home Ruler has 2 completely distinct melodies. The A section is a nice melody, but you never hear that again in the B section, not even the ending. Usually at least the last measure or the last 2 measures are usually repeated and used in both sections of a hornpipe, but not this time. So this is a good challenging tune to play and also to try to play by heart. It's because you have to learn 2 distinct melodies and stick them together to do the Home Ruler. Let's not forget that in a hornpipe we'll be doing we'll take in those 8th notes and we'll be lilting them. So even on the page it looks like, but we really go. And that's this distinctive, very distinctive and important sound of hornpipes. Without that lilt in the 8th notes, it won't sound like a hornpipe. So you must remember to add that sound. It's never really written in correctly in any piece of music, so when you see a hornpipe, you just have to know to add that rhythm. Okay? So here we go with the tune The Home Ruler. We'll do it 2 times around, just the way they would do at a pub session. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. good tune now, really. It's a really fun hornpipe called the Home Ruler. And another neat thing about this one, for us fiddle players particularly, is the wide range of notes in this tune. This includes notes down in the G string, and in the B section it goes all the way up as high as we can go. So we use like every note up and down the fiddle on this tune, and that doesn't usually happen. So it's a nice challenging tune for all of us fiddle players particularly. A wide range of notes. The melody plays around on all 4 strings, and 2 distinct melodies that make up the tune. So the Home Ruler, a great challenging hornpipe. That's a really happy tune to boot. All right. Now let's see. We've done a jig and a reel and a slipjig and a hornpipe. Let's do a waltz now. This is a contemporary waltz written by a dear friend of mine, master Irish fiddle player Manus McGuire. And he wrote it for his wife Genevieve. That's how it's got its name, Genevieve's Waltz. It was one of the earliest tunes that I learned by ear off of a recording when I was getting into Irish fiddle playing and Irish trad tunes. Manus, the album that this is on, which is called Genevieve's Waltz. I couldn't find the recording. I couldn't find the notes written out anywhere, so I had to listen and learn the tune by ear. Later on our second trip to Ireland, we got to visit with Manus at his house and meet his wife Genevieve, and I have such distinct memories of, this would be a little more than 20 years ago now, but I can just see myself standing in Manus McGuire's living room at his house in Scariff, County Clare, and playing this along with him. I was nervous as, oh my gosh, I've never been so nervous in my life, but it was a good opportunity for me to learn tunes and play them. So every time I play this tune, I really love it. We'll play it 2 times around. This is a straight waltz. All the 8th notes are straight, and it's in the key of A major. So we have to worry about G sharps, which we don't always have, and there are a couple of them in this tune, so you want to be careful and be able to play those G sharps. So be careful for those. That's high 2nd finger on the E string, which we seldom actually finally play. So be careful and watch for your G sharps all through the tune. You repeat the first half of the tune, and the second half is played straight through. Here we go, 2 times around on Manus McGuire's beautiful waltz that he wrote for his wife, Genevieve's Waltz. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. what a great tune. Genevieve's Waltz is the name of that. I think it's fun if you have tunes living in your head and you have thoughts and memories from some of those tunes. I've talked to you all before how many of the tunes I play, I can remember the first time I heard them, or I can remember who taught them to me. I can remember sitting in McSherry's pub back in Alabama, and a certain person saying, here's a tune that I like, and sharing it with us, and it becoming one of my favorites. And some of those people are gone now, but they'll always live on in good memories in my head every time I think or play the tunes that they shared. So I hope you feel that way about me sometimes, that some of the tunes that you guys are playing in Pennsylvania or New Hampshire or well, anywhere that you live, if you play a tune and you think of me and say, now here's a tune I learned from watching Tom on his Monday night play along session, well, that's the best I could ever hope for. So anyway, tunes really bring all kinds of memories to me, and I hope they do for you as well. Well, it's halfway through the playlist here, and it's a good time to remind you. And here we are on the first week of September. I just do not believe that, but it is true. And September has an extra Monday in it, so I won't be here next Monday, but I will be here on the September 15th, the 22nd, and the 29th with more and more tunes for you guys. So mark your calendar for that. Don't forget that you can find all the sessions that I've done throughout 2025 on my YouTube channel, and this one you're watching right now will go up and be published on YouTube within 24 hours. So even though they delete them on my Facebook page after 30 days, which they do to everybody's live streams now, not just me, they just don't have it out for me, but everybody in the whole world who live streams anything on Facebook, it's deleted after 30 days. But it'll always be there for you on YouTube. So don't forget that. And let's see, don't forget you can send a donation my way at paypal.me/IrishTradFiddle. Right? Everybody knows that already. And that helps keep the tunes coming after 5.5 years here. Fran's done the viewer roundup already, so let me just go ahead and say hi to everybody, and thank you all for tuning in from Florida, Massachusetts, Missouri, Tennessee, Alabama, New Hampshire, Washington, North Carolina, Michigan, Ohio, California, Pennsylvania, and Labrador. Thanks for spending part of your Labor Day Monday holiday with little old me. I really appreciate it. Okay, guys, let's play 5 more tunes. What do you say? We're going to start with an old-timey tune that I've had in my mind here lately. I don't know why. It just kind of popped into my mind the other day. It's called Waitin For The Federals, also known as the Seneca Square Dance. It was a tune used, I do believe, in some of the bits and pieces of the Ken Burns Civil War series. And it's a pretty melody that I think is worth playing just about any time. And we'll play it 2 times around. Key of G. Very old tune. This would have been one that the fiddle players might have played clear back during the Civil War in the middle of the 1800s. 1, 2, 1. Federals is the name of that tune. It's a fun tune, old-timey American tune. And I think on our next session, when I do return in the middle of September, I will do a mix of some old-time American tunes mixed in with the Irish tunes. So I think that will be a lot of fun. So be ready for that. But for the rest of this set, I think we ought to go back and do plenty of Irish tunes. What do you say? And here's that other jig in the key of G that I said we would play, the Blackthorn Stick. A classic if there ever was one. A nice, busy, fun tune full of great melody at the beginning. Flies all over your fiddle there, but I love it a lot. And then that B section with that classic jig melody where you play one note and then two of the same, one note and two of the same. That's the other kind of fun thing that happens in the Blackthorn Stick, a classic tune that goes back many, many years and was published in the books at the turn of the century, of the 20th century, that is, by Chief Francis O'Neill. And so this tune is well over 120 years old because it was already popular when he decided to put it in his book. So there you go, the Blackthorn Stick. Let's have some fun with that 3 times around. 1, 2, 1, 2. Time. Blackthorn Stick. What a good tune that one is. Another fun jig that you can hook together with so many others that I've taught you guys over the years. Limerick Lasses is our next tune. This is another single reel, but this is a 3-part single reel, ladies and gentlemen. So there's 3 little sections that go to this. Each one is 4 measures long, and to make it easy, if you're looking at my free sheet music that I've shared with you every week, this tune has just 3 lines, and each one has a repeat sign at the end. So it's got each little melody has a very simple ending, thank goodness. Sometimes these single reels can get very complex with their endings, particularly. Each one slightly different. Tunes like the musical Priest, which I've shared with you guys and played in times past. It's not that tricky, but on paper, in musical notation, it makes it look so confusing. because of the slight difference in each ending. But this one ends with a quarter note every time, 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So that makes it easy to follow. Don't forget to take the repeats. We'll do this tune 3 times around, and so you play each line twice, 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 then twice, 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 and one more time. So a happy little tune about the Limerick Lasses, about a town in Ireland, obviously. Are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Challenging tune, 3 distinctive melodies there, making up the single reel, triple single reel called Limerick Lasses. I hope you guys noticed it had several Irish triplets in it. In the second and third lines, you had cinnamon 2 and 3, and same exact little trick there. That's a fingered and slurred triplet for us fiddle players. Da-da-dum. Just right up the row. 1, 2, 3. And once again, you're thinking of the words cinnamon 2 and 3 and 4 and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Cinnamon 2 and 3 and 4 and. So yes, I see that one of our trad friends here, who was that? That was Marge, said that me saying the word cinnamon has helped her to learn those tricky triplets. And it is a fun way to hear those triplets coming and be able to play them right. Yay. All right. The Mist-Covered Mountains. Here's a lovely, very lyrical jig, in my opinion, in the key of A minor Dorian. It gives it that kind of a haunting quality, melancholy quality. I don't think we've played, well, we did Dublin Streets in a minor key, but this will be the only other minor one for the session. This tune has written in ornament here right on the very first measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Instead of just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you'll see that combination of eighths, 2 16ths and an eighth. Don't let that freak you out or get panicky. That's just the equivalent of 2 eighth notes in 6/8 time. So, just like in the Limerick Lasses, that's just adding the note. That's all we're doing. usually in any Irish triplet, is just tripping all the way up, right in a row, with the notes right in a row, or tripping all the way down. And this is what's happening here in the Mist-Covered Mountains. The first measure would have really been, right? Nothing wrong with that, but all I'm doing is quickly putting the other note that's missing, B to D, B, C, D. Can you hear that happen? It's just a quick flick of the notes just going all the way up. And every time you see that in the A section of the Mist-Covered Mountain, that's exactly what's happening there. This tune has what I call a 4-measure bonus ending. The last 4 measures are a brand new melody that you haven't ever heard before. So when that happens, I always write the B section of a tune out in its entirety so that you can play those 16 measures down without some big honking, confusing 4-measure repeat first and second ending thing. So I just write it all out and make it easy for you. So you repeat the first section, you won't have to repeat the second section. But be ready for the very interesting, special bonus melody at the end. This happens with a number of Irish tunes, particularly jigs. It seems to be a fun thing that has happened throughout history. Here we go, 3 times around on this wonderful lyric jig called the Mist-Covered Mountains. 1, 2, 1, 2. Time. What a cool tune that one is. 3 different jigs I played for you here tonight. Jimmy Ward jig, and also the Blackthorn Stick and the Mist-Covered Mountain. All 3 wonderful melody-rich tunes, I'll tell you right there. I love all 3 of those tunes. Well, I hope you've had a good time with me here on this Labor Day Monday. I want to thank each and every one of you for taking some of your day, your holiday Monday, and grabbing your instrument and tuning into me and playing along. I really do appreciate that. That's really great. I hope you all have a great week and do good, positive things. And let's finish up here. I know my friend David would like to hear a pure actual polka, but we're going to do an Irish song called I'll Tell Me Ma, and we'll kind of turn it into a an instrumental song that turns into a polka. What do you say? I'll tell me ma when I get home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. They pulled my hair and they stole my comb, but that's all right till I get home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she's the belle of Belfast City. She is a courtin' 1, 2, 3. Please would you tell me who is she? Right, there's the words to the song. Let's have fun with it. And that'll be the last thing we do for the night. Here we go. Thank you for tuning in to my play along session number 233, and I hope you have a great week. 2 weeks actually. I'll be back here on the 15th of September with more good tunes to share. Be kind, be careful, be good, and try and have a good 2 weeks, everybody. I know Fran and I will. Take care for now. Bye.